our Official Secretary to the Governor-General.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Government House, Yarralumla. Dawa Nuna, Dawa Nunawel. I acknowledge your traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Nunawel people, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present, emerging leaders, and any other Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders that may be gathered here with us this morning. My name is Paul Singer and I'm the Official Secretary to the Governor-General, and as this badge signifies with its cross quills, I'm also the Secretary of the Order of Australia, the council which makes recommendations in the General Division to the Governor-General, who is both the Chancellor of the Order of Australia and the Principal Companion. I'm also the Secretary of the Australian Bravery Decorations Council, the body which makes recommendations to the Governor-General for Bravery Awards. Before we start the ceremony this morning, I'd like to acknowledge amongst our distinguished guests, Commodore Darren Grogan, representing the Chief of Navy, Major General Simon Stewart, representing the Chief of Army, Air Commodore Robert Denny, representing the Chief of Air Force, and Ms Frances Rose, representing the National President of the Order of Australia Association. Welcome all. Notwithstanding the challenges presented by the pandemic, we're delighted that we're able to proceed with Investitures proceeding in a COVID-safe manner. We're grateful for your understanding of and compliance with the measures that we've put in place to ensure that these investitures can occur. Thank you. The Australian Honours and Awards system provides a wonderful mechanism through which we as a nation can recognise and celebrate ordinary people who do extraordinary things. Since its inception in 1975, over 400,000 people have been recognised for their meritorious, bravery, military or national service. The Order of Australia is the principal means of recognising outstanding service, and it's important to note that nominations can come from all parts of the community. Anyone can nominate. Today is a special day, not only for the recipients, but also for their friends, their families and the communities. It's a day when we celebrate a diverse range of impressive achievements and service. As staff at Government House, my colleagues and I are privileged to play a small part in recognising that service and achievement, and we look forward to making this morning a day that you'll all recall with pride for a long time to come. Shortly, I'll invite you to stand as Her Excellencies the Governor-General and Mrs Hurley enter the room and then remain standing for the singing of the Australian National Anthem. The investiture will then proceed in the order listed in your programs. As I read their names and citations, the recipients will enter from the doorway on my right, and after they've been invested by the Governor-General, will depart via the central aisle to take up their seats at the back of the room, and it's at this point you might like to show your appreciation with a short applause. At the conclusion of the investiture ceremony, the Governor-General will say a few words, and then I'll invite recipients to join with Her Excellencies out on the state entrance for an official photograph. And at this point, just invite guests to remain briefly in the drawing room until such time as Her Excellencies and the recipients have left, and then you'll be invited into the dining room where refreshments and morning tea will be served. So ladies and gentlemen, please relax and enjoy this very special occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of Her Excellencies the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia and Mrs Linda Hurley, and for the singing of the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated.
Well, a very warm welcome to Government House Yarralumla this morning for what is a very important day in the life of our award recipients this morning, for their families, of course, but just as importantly, or even more so, for our nation, where we recognise those who have made a significant contribution to the advancement of our country, to the well-being of our communities. I begin by acknowledging that Government House here at Yarralumla sits on the land of the Ngunnawal people, and I thank them for looking after this beautiful part of our country for generation after generation, and pay respects to elders past and present. As you came in today, you hopefully have noticed that other than a few autumn leaves, the house is nicely presented. The staff are looking splendid in their uniforms and so on, and everyone has a bit about a pomp and protocol and circumstance about them. And so it should be. This is a special day in the life of the nation. But please, this is an Australian government house, so feel that you can relax, breathe, smile and applaud at the appropriate time, because it is a special day. Today we're going to acknowledge a number of people from a wide variety of professional fields, endeavours, both at the community level, business and so on. We have a smaller group this morning than normal, so it's a smaller example of what the awards represent. But I'm going to issue you with some homework at the conclusion of the ceremony. The younger people didn't expect homework when they came here today, but our honours and awards system in Australia has, I think, a very important, perhaps unique characteristic in that it is a bottom-up system. It is not a system where authorities in Canberra reach down into the community and say, some person down there has been doing a very good job, we're going to present them with a medal. People who walk through this door, particularly those from the civilian community, the general part of the order, are being recognised by their peers, nominated by their peers, because their good works have been seen and noted and considered worthy of recognition. That's perhaps a hint for your homework later on. The families here today, I know Paul has mentioned you in his introductory words, but please, from me, thank you for what you do. Not one of these recipients would be here today without family support in what they do, both at work or in the community. So we're extremely grateful for your contribution. Today, as we've seen all week, this is the 9th of 9 sessions this week. We have seen the span of what Australians do for their own society and what they achieve internationally. It's been an uplifting week. I hope you find and have the same experience today. It is uplifting. Linda and I travel this country virtually every week of the year, and every time we come back, I say in a sense, I don't need to do a university survey or a survey with some major company to tell me how good Australians are. I see it every day of the year, and this week brings it all together. So enjoy the occasion. Let's reflect in the achievements we're about to hear and be grateful that these fine Australians have been nominated by their peers to be recognised today. And on that note, I shall now commence the official investiture ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, to be presented with the insignia of her appointment as a companion in the General Division of the Order of Australia, Emeritus Professor Cheryl Prager, for eminent service to mathematics and to tertiary education as a leading academic and researcher, to international organisations, and as a champion of women in STEM careers. Professor Prager, throughout her more than 40-year academic career, has made pioneering contributions to mathematics, maths education, and to the mentoring of women in the STEM sector. She's provided diligent and dedicated service to a range of leading national and international bodies, including the International Union of Mathematical Sciences, the Australian Mathematics Trust, and the Australian Academy of Science. She's the first pure mathematician to win an Australian Research Council Federation Fellowship, and in 2019, she was awarded the Prime Minister's Prize for Science. She has trained and supported a large number of mathematicians, championed the importance of maths in school curriculums, and has tirelessly promoted Australian science globally. Professor Prager's service has been to humanity at large and at the highest of levels, and she is most deserving of our nation's sincerest thanks and recognition. Emeritus Professor Cheryl Prager appointed a Companion of the Order. Appointed an Officer in the General Division, Ms. Samantha Mostyn, for distinguished service to business and sustainability and to the community through seminal contributions to a range of organisations and to women. Ms. Mostyn is recognised leader in gender equity, business governance and sustainability and climate change. She has significant experience in the corporate sector, having worked across government, non-profit, sporting, arts and creative and business organisations. In each role she's demonstrated integrity and purpose in leadership, and her efforts have had a national impact in terms of her support and expertise. She made indelible contribution to the Australian Football League and was a strong advocate for the role of women in the game. She's been a champion of diversity, particularly in gender representation at all levels. Ms. Mostyn has been a driving force and a fierce advocate for many sectors of the community and is most deserving of our recognition. Ms. Samantha Mostyn, appointed an Officer of the Order. Appointed a Member in the General Division, the Honourable Sandy McDonald, for significant service to the people and Parliament of Australia and to public administration. Mr. McDonald has made a significant contribution to Australian politics, to the rural and regional community, and to our defence personnel. He was a well-respected and effective senator for the people of New South Wales, serving for 2 terms over 13 years. He held senior portfolio responsibilities and was Parliamentary Secretary for Trade and later Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Defence. He subsequently undertook a voluntary role with the Anzac Centenary Advisory Board in the lead up to the 100-year commemorations. More recently, he's been vital in the role of Chairman of the Defence Housing Authority, supporting Defence Force personnel and their families. Mr. McDonald has demonstrated significant service and achievement. The Honourable Sandy McDonald, appointed a Member of the Order. We move now to the Distinguished Service Decorations. Awarded for Distinguished Service Medal, Brigadier David Kelly. For distinguished leadership in warlike operations as the Chief of Operations for the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation, Operation Resolute Support Afghanistan from December 2018 to December 2019. Brigadier Kelly displayed distinguished operational leadership through his direction of a large multinational staff within the key operations centre for the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation mission in Afghanistan. He was responsible for the planning and coordination of all coalition forces' actions in support of the combat and combat support operations conducted by the Afghan National Defence Security Forces across Afghanistan. He ensured synchronisation of 20,000 coalition troops, which reduced the risk of fratricide and civilian casualties and underpinned the successful employment of the troops across a dangerous and dynamic environment. Brigadier Kelly's efforts significantly enhanced the reputation of the Australian Defence Force among coalition nations. Brigadier David Kelly awarded the Distinguished Service Medal. Move now to the Conspicuous Service Decorations. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Taptin Tong, for outstanding achievement as a Brigade Major of the 7th Combat Brigade. Lieutenant Colonel Taptin Tong's professionalism and dedication enhanced the planning, sequencing and conduct of the 7th Combat Brigade training. He delivered resource-efficient training activities which prepared it for a range of operations. His skills, networking and liaison with the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, International Policy Division, Army Headquarters, Joint Operations Command, 1st Division and Forces Command have enhanced 7th Combat Brigade's engagement in the Southwest Pacific. Lieutenant Colonel Taptin Tong has been instrumental in the generation and sustainment of operational and contingency forces and international engagement. Lieutenant Colonel Richard Taptin Tong awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross, Group Captain Paul Close, for outstanding achievement in implementation of the Defence Aviation Safety Regulations in introducing the Air Force's Safety Always program and improving fleet management of aviation materiel for the Australian Defence Force. Group Captain Close has been instrumental in establishing standardised technical procedures to implement new Defence Aviation Safety Regulations. He created a joint team for the development of procedures and influenced senior Navy, Army and Air Force stakeholders to support the safe introduction of the new regulations. As Director Maintenance, Safety and Airworthiness, he was tasked with the responsibility for Air Force safety. Under his leadership, programs were created to remediate major safety incident sources. Group Captain Close's service has been of the highest order and he's brought great credit on himself and the Royal Australian Air Force. Group Captain Paul Close awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Lieutenant Commander Joe Harvey Collins, for meritorious achievement as Staff Officer Intelligence at Submarine Operations, Headquarters Joint Operations Command on Operation Saville. Lieutenant Commander Harvey Collins has made a dedicated contribution to intelligence planning and preparation for all scheduled submarine deployments. Leading a small team, she researched and prioritised intelligence requirements across several national and allied authorities, sourced essential resources and trained specialist personnel to support these deployments. Largely due to her commitment, the theatre submarine deployment schedule of 2019 resulted in unparalleled outcomes recognised nationally and with alliance partners. Lieutenant Commander Harvey Collins' professionalism and devotion to duty embraced the finest traditions of the Royal Australian Navy. Lieutenant Commander Joe Harvey Collins awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Group Captain David Augustine. For meritorious achievement as the Chief of Staff Headquarters Joint Task Force 633 while deployed on Operation Accordion from December 2018 to October 2019. Group Captain Augustine enhanced Headquarters' ability to meet existing and new responsibilities through the shaping of a Joint Operations Room characterised by its flexible, responsive and mission-focused team. He expertly managed emerging requirements while continuing to support existing operations in the Middle East region, ensuring Joint Task Force 633 met all Australian government requirements. Group Captain Augustine's leadership made a significant and positive impact on the effectiveness of the Australian Defence Force's contribution to security operations in the Middle East region. Group Captain David Augustine awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentations this morning.
We've acknowledged each of the recipients individually. I think it'll be opportune now to thank them all and acknowledge them as a group. Well done and congratulations. And I'm delighted, Professor, to see a mathematician so honoured. Well done. Now to your homework. As I've said this morning, a smaller group than normal, and so perhaps the breadth of what we might normally acknowledge in the awards may not be apparent. But I'll go back to the point I made about our system of awards. It's a bottom-up system. It depends on your nominations. You know the people in your community, your profession, your business area, who are performing at a level that should be recognised nationally under our award system. I need you to nominate. Without nominations, we simply cannot acknowledge or see that work that is occurring in our community. My desire is to mark your homework by presenting medals to people as they walk through that door in 12 months or 24 months' time. So please, back to your communities. The other note I've made to these groups during the week is that our diversity in our award system is still not where it should be. The number of women, thankfully, has risen quite considerably and continues to do so, and I'm pleased with that, but we need more. But we are lacking in Indigenous representation and for those coming from a multicultural background. Now, work is underway, of course, from our side to increase their participation, but also we need you in your community to be keeping an eye out for us and nominate people you consider who merit being acknowledged under our award system. So there's your homework, and as I say, I look forward to marking it. So please undertake that for us. Again, to families, thank you for being here this morning and for your contribution. Linda and I look forward now to catching up with you all over a cup of tea and delighting in the achievements of your loved one this morning. Congratulations all, and that concludes our formal ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the Governor-General has said, anyone can nominate a fellow Australian for recognition within the Order of Australia. It's easy to do via accessing the online nomination form available on the Governor-General's website at www.gg.gov.au. And as the Governor-General has indicated, we hope to welcome those that have been successful in that process to a ceremony such as this in the future. Shortly, we'll invite the recipients to join with Your Excellencies on the state entrance stairs for an official photograph. And if the guests could just remain briefly in this room until Their Excellencies and recipients have departed. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the departure of Their Excellencies, the Governor-General, Mrs. Hurley, and the recipients. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. I invite you to head through now to the dining room where refreshments and morning tea will be served. Their Excellencies and the recipients look forward to joining you shortly. Thank you and good morning.